Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Visit Canada 10 Things That Shock Tourists About Canada. So I have to admit, I don't really know much about Canada, so I don't really know what kind of preconceived notions people may have about this place. I think usually it's kind of a mystery, which sounds crazy because it's such a big country, but to me it's a little bit of a mystery. It's very big. I think it's very cold. I don't really know much beyond that, so I'm excited to learn more about it. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walters World, and today we're in Vancouver, British Columbia, here on the west coast of Canada. And today what we have for you are the 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to beautiful Canada.
It's a beach.
And the thing is, before I get started my top 10, I want you to know, shock number 0, something you should know. Canada is not a frozen wasteland all year round.
A lot of people, I think I'm not alone in this, think, oh, Canada is very big, it's snowy all the time, and it's very cold. I think that's the only thing I can tell you about Canada. But yes, this place looks very warm, so it's not, okay, good to know. It's silly of me to think it's snowy all the time and it's very cold.
I know a lot of people have this impression that it's polar bears and snow everywhere in Canada.
Me.
Here in Vancouver, it hardly ever snows, okay?
Oh,
in the rest of the country, it's not snowing cold all year round. Look,
okay.
look, shorts, t-shirt, okay?
Okay, yeah, it's a warm beach. It's not one of those beaches where it's really cold. No, he's in shorts. It's warm. It's okay. I think I'm realizing just how silly I think I sound saying this, because it would be, I think, the equivalent of someone saying, I don't know, oh, what about the snow in LA? There's no snow in LA. So yes, it's like this. I get it. Okay.
Okay, so that's one thing I want to get out of the way before we even get started, all right? Now, let's get started with the actual shocks when you do come here. The first thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada is how friendly and kind and helpful the Canadian...
Well, this wouldn't surprise me because I know some Canadians and they are super friendly. They are so nice. I think most Canadians tend to be like this. Very friendly, very warm, and just extremely polite in general.
And people are. I know you have all these jokes about everybody's there, buddy, but honestly, I've come to Canada multiple times. It's actually the first foreign country I ever went to.
Okay.
And people, since I was 8 years old till now, have always been fantastic. When I've met Canadians, when I've traveled and other places around the world,
so nice.
The people are super nice. And you're shocked that, man, it's not a show. They really are super friendly and super helpful.
Yes, you can feel a little, oh my God, what's wrong with you? They're putting on, I don't know, some sort of weird personality, but they are extremely warm. They're extremely friendly and nice, and just nice in general.
And super nice. And yes, they do say sorry a lot, but the thing is they are super kind, and that's one thing that shocks people. It's like, wow, they really are as nice as people say they are. Yes, they are. Yes, of course, there's some jerks, but there's jerks everywhere. But in general, you'll be shocked how nice and helpful they are. So if you have any problems, you don't know the direction you should go, you don't know where you should eat, which beer is the best beer to have, make sure you ask a local. They'll definitely help you. Now, the second thing that shocks tourists when they come here is, you have these nice people and they actually give nice service. But the thing is, the second shock is that the prices that those nice people tell you are never the end price that you actually pay.
Oh,
look,
taxes.
Here in Canada, you'll be shocked that there's sales tax and tipping when you come here. So the price is never what you actually pay. And the thing is, the sales tax they have here in Canada is different by provinces, okay? So you might...
Oh, but it's like the US. Everything you never really know until the bill comes and you're, oh, okay, I guess this is what I'm paying.
You have what's called, you'll see GST, okay? Goods and services tax, 5%. Here in Vancouver, or if you're in Ontario, you might see HST, harmonized sales tax. And over on the east, it could be 13 to 15%.
All this percentage is crazy. It's like, I don't really know. Just tell me how much it is in actual money.
Added onto your bill. So you'll have your price, you'll go to pay, and then that'll be added on the end. So don't think that one loony thing you're buying is going to be one loony. You might have another 5 cents put on top of it, okay? So do have a heads up for that one. And that kind of shocks people. Another thing that shocks them is that when you go out to eat, you do have to tip. And just like other places, like in the US, it's 15 to 20% that you tip on top of your food bill, okay? So just remember, you have your money to pay, always have at least another 15% just to be sure to cover those prices.
Yeah, I think for everyone in the US is used to this. I think this would be more of a culture shock. for I think Europeans, which I don't think they're really used to the tipping culture. But I don't really like it. I would prefer just tell me how much it is and that's it. But it is what it is.
Okay, so that's one thing you should know. But what's cool about it, when you do go out to eat here with friends, they split the bill really easily, which shocked me because my cheap friends can't pawn stuff off on me. So that's really cool, okay? Because it's already split up. No, dude, that was yours. So now, the third thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada is how huge Canada is. I mean, it's one of the largest countries by size in the entire world. You know, when you...
But I don't know, is it all... I think maybe mistakenly so that a lot of these parts are uninhabited, but maybe I'm wrong.
Look at the map, you're like, it's huge. Like, oh, that's just the map skewing the size. No, even if you put it on a globe,
is that
the
Toronto?
country is huge. Okay, and so when you talk, and I've talked to travelers that are coming here, they're like, oh, I'm gonna fly in Toronto, then I'll go over to Quebec City, and then we'll go to Vancouver. I'm
like, no.
That's it. It's really huge. I hope you're going to fly. Look. If you get a chance, you know, WestJet's really nice. Air Canada, I've always had a good time with them too. No problems with either one. Make sure you use those flights to go places because the drives are insanely long, okay? Also, that insanely long, sometimes you see funny things.
But I think road trips are nice, and I think you can actually get to know more things that way, but that's just me.
Things like, we drove from Prince Edward Island to Toronto, so we didn't use our own advice, but we stopped along the way, and we noticed that...
See, because it's better, yes, it's so nice.
The moose signs, as you got closer to Prince Edward Island, PEI, the moose got bigger and bigger, so I'm kind of scared for the moose, whatever they're eating in PEI, must be pretty...
Yeah, I'm scared too. If I'm seeing the moose get bigger, oh my god, is it gonna eat me?
Fortified, okay? But honestly, the country is huge, and make sure you plan accordingly. So maybe what you do is you plan regions. Like, hey, I'm going to do the West Coast, so let's do Vancouver and Victoria and stay around here.
That's good advice.
Maybe go over to Calgary. You know, it's still kind of far, but you know, Banff and stuff like that. Kind of put those together, and then do like a Quebec City, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto trip. Focus on those areas because otherwise you're going to be spending so much time in the car going.
What's up with the giant Campbell's tomato soup? This is the second. There's a giant sculpture and it has pigeons, which okay. But what's up with the giant Campbell's? Is Campbell's Canadian? Is that it? I think that's a very American thing. So I wouldn't know, but it's kind of weird, right?
Places that kind of takes away from your trip. Okay. Now the fourth thing that shocks people when they come to Canada is how beautiful Canada is. I mean, the natural beauty of Canada.
It's very pretty.
Whether you're going to Whistler or you're going to Banff around here or the mountains just there or going out whale watching here in Vancouver or you're like, well, maybe I don't like the West Coast. Oh, then go to PEI and have the red beaches there and go there and see the views from there on the islands there or go check out Niagara Falls or go to the dozens and dozens of national parks and the provincial parks and all the beauty and beautiful nature that's around Canada because that's honestly for me the number one reason to come to Canada is the nature. It is gorgeous. So wherever you're going to go,
I can see that.
Make sure you pack a pair of hiking boots or a pair of hiking shoes so you can walk out and take a hike, okay? Whether you're here in Vancouver or you're Toronto's a little bit tough, but you can get to a provincial park relatively close to Toronto and check things out because that natural beauty here, I mean, you just sit there and take picture after picture after picture. I remember I was going through the lakes and the little islands along the U.S.-Canada border. I'm just like, snap, snap, snap. I'm like, why do I keep taking pictures of the same kind of stuff? Because it is so beautiful. Now, the fifth thing that shocks tourists when they come here is how much the Canadians really, really love hockey. I mean, really love hockey. I know we're passionate about sports in the U.S. and they're passionate about sports in Europe and stuff like that, but hockey isn't just a sport here. It's a way of life. Okay, it's the de facto ad for every single product sold. If you watch TV, you will find some channel that's talking about hockey, whether it's in season or out of season, and you can watch games. And if you get a chance to go to a hockey game here in Canada,
what happens if you just do not like hockey? If you're a Canadian that doesn't like hockey, I'm gonna guess they exist.
In one of the big cities, or going one of the more
they're gonna be ostracized, so they'll tell you I actually hate hockey.
Minor leagues, check it out. It's a fun thing to do. But what's crazy for me is whenever I watch TV and I see commercials and stuff like that, the typical commercial I see in Canada, it's a mom picking up her kids or dropping her kids off at hockey practice. Or she's talking to her friends at hockey practice. That's how it is, whether you're talking about medicine, tissues,
what does the
cars.
dinosaur say?
It's always mom at hockey practice. I mean, that's how much it is a part of the culture here. So when you do come, you're looking for a fun thing to take home.
I think, a little bit of the equivalent of taking your kids to soccer practice.
Grab yourself a Canucks hat or get yourself a Maple Leaf jersey. Or actually, for me, I think actually the Winnipeg Jets have the coolest hat. But for me, the Nordiques.
Oh, but these are here.
Maybe gone.
Okay.
but you're still right there, okay? Just so you know. Hockey is really Canada. That's what's gonna shock you. And following on with that hockey kind of stereotype thing is the maple syrup type stereotype thing.
Delicious.
And that is the sixth thing, is how much maple syrup really is in almost everything here.
Ooh,
now, not
love
everything, but you'll be surprised how many maple syrup infused, flavored, put into, covered in dishes
like
and
what?
treats and snacks and mints and things they have here in Canada. I mean, it's all over the place. My son loved the maple mints. I'm like, maple syrup? Yeah, I can put that on. Sure, I had one. They called the French Canadian pizza. They put maple syrup on it too with bacon and stuff. Like, that was really.
I think this would probably give an Italian aneurysm, but I think I would love to try this. Pizza with hot honey, it's good. So why not maple syrup?
Really good. But seriously, the maple syrup thing is next level here. So for a tourist,
salmon candy, is it actual salmon? Again, not that weird, because if you have salmon with a sort of honey glazed, I think that this would be good.
Get some maple syrup to take home. You will appreciate it, because oh my God, it is so good up here. But it really is a real thing. Like, it's not just a joke. It's shocking how much maple syrup is up here in Canada.
They're honoring their flag.
Now, the seventh thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada is Français. Yes, French. Yes. If you're going into Quebec, you need to know a little French, okay? Now, people speak English there, no big deal, but you'll see everything's in French there. At least in the menus, it's like French.
They speak English as well, right?
Just this size font, and then English is this size font, okay?
Okay.
You will see that. And the thing, though, is though there is French, and it is an official language of Canada, the actual shocking part is, once you get out of Quebec, and like the provinces right on Quebec's edges, you actually don't hear French very much at all. Here in Vancouver, I think...
I'm surprised all the public signs are all in French, which, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
The only people we've heard speaking French are tourists from France
and
tourists from Quebec, okay? So a lot of people, like in the U.S., were taught, it's English and French, and everyone speaks English, and everybody speaks French, like equally fluently. It's not that way. Just in Quebec, okay? Just in Quebec, French, all right? Outside that, don't worry about it. Now, the eighth thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada, and one thing I love about it, is how safe you feel when you do come to Canada. Look, the country's huge, so there's times that you're alone. I mean, how many people have walked behind me on this beach in this city of 3 million people almost?
You should be able to feel safe where you are.
Nobody. Okay, I think there's one guy that went by. You can have these empty spaces, you can be alone, or you can be in a city,
it's not crowded,
and you feel safe. It's one of the best things about coming to Canada is the safety. Low crime rates, all kinds of stuff like that. It's great. And as a traveler, travel with your kids and stuff like that, there's an amazing feeling. Now, having said that, obviously there's certain parts of town, like there's parts of Vancouver you don't go to, in Toronto you don't go to.
Okay,
but in general, just common travel sense for safety, you're going to be fine. And it's so great to relax and be able to put my bag over there and film and stuff like that. It's awesome. I think the only safety things you need to worry about is maybe, if you're going to be going in the national parks and stuff like that,
That bear's so realistic. For 1 minute, I thought it was an actual animal.
The bears, you don't feed the bears. Don't feed the wildlife, okay? That's your probably most dangerous things, okay? Because bears, they like people. A lot. No. You'll see T-shirts with it, all right? So just have a heads up.
What's up with the bear? Okay, I'm not feeding them. Thanks for the warning. I wasn't planning on getting close to them, but okay, good to know.
That one. Now, the ninth thing that's going to shock you when you come here is that you're going to make a best friend. Yes, and your best friend, his name is Tim Horton.
Oh, Tim Hortons.
Sure, Tim Hortons is a restaurant chain. It's like a coffee shop. It's like Dunkin' Donuts and a Subway and a Starbucks kind of mixed together with.
I thought it was the equivalent of a Dunkin's. That's what I thought.
With a big dose of Canada, like super nice people. The donuts are really good, okay, and like the Timbits, the little tiny ones, pick some of those up. But you'll be shocked how Tim Hortons becomes one of your friends. Because think about it, Tim Hortons is there when you need him. Right, just like your friends are. Oh, I need some breakfast. Oh, there's a Tim Hortons across the street. Oh, we're on a highway, man. I wish someone could give me a chance to take a break from driving. Oh, there's Tim Hortons over there. And you pull off and it's there, and it gives you a chance to relax. But also, Tim Hortons is there when you don't want him there. When you're in your bad moods. Oh, I need some coffee. Tim Hortons is there for you in the morning.
Got your back.
It's funny how they're all over the place, okay? And the thing is the people are nice, the food's good, the donuts are the best for me. And it's all over the place. So if you're a tourist, and especially if you have to pay for breakfast at your hotel, don't. Just go to the Tim Hortons. Believe me, there's one down the street. Just go out your hotel, take a right, It'll be right there. Okay.
This looks very European for some reason. More like Swiss probably. Yeah, something. Yeah, I would say Switzerland. This looks it reminds me a little bit of Europe, and I would love to go to a Tim Hortons.
You'll see them, and that's what's so shocking about. It's like, wow, until you come to Canada, you don't realize how Tim Hortons and how a restaurant chain can become your friend. All right.
Not surprising.
The 10th thing that shocks tourists when they come here to Canada are all the Canadianisms. Look, all those fun things you hear about Canada, sometimes it really does happen. Yes, the maple syrup addiction and the hockey addiction, yes, I've talked about that. But yes, their flag, they're very proud. You come here, wow, you love your country. Why shouldn't they? The place is gorgeous. And you'll see the flags flying.
Well, I do have to say, this also, the United States also has this. It's not everywhere, but in some places, it's definitely people love their flag and they're very patriotic. So this doesn't shock me that much.
Stuff like that. When you have some of the treats, beaver tails, oh my God, it's like fried dough with some cinnamon sugar on top.
Oh, okay. Beaver tails, good to know what they were. I was about to ask, what on earth are beaver tails? I was imagining the worst, but no, it's a cinnamon roll apparently. Well, similar to a cinnamon roll, not in the shape, probably in the taste.
Amazing. You're in Ottawa, grab some, or anywhere if you can, get them. Or for me, the life-changing event of coming to Canada is having poutine, which is French fries and cheese curds with gravy on top. And if you can get it with the pulled pork on there too, oh my God, life-changing. Yeah, having some smoked meat. Yes, have that salmon candy, have that copa, have those things out there. Their meat is so good here, whether it's a sandwich or just eating it and with your friends and stuff like that. Yes, they do have the ketchup chips, and yes, they do have the milk in the back.
Ketchup chips. I do not know a lot about Canadian cuisine, but it sounds great.
It's like we were talking about. There's so many great little Canadian things. Yes, you'll hear them say sorry a lot, like I talked about before. And occasionally you will hear them say, eh? You know what I'm talking about, eh? You will hear that, eh?
I just mentioned it. Yeah, it's very Canadian.
Not as much as you used to, sadly, but it still shows up. And that's what's so cool about it, is you get to have this great time with a good spirit to go along with it. So do have a great time when you are here in Canada. I will not be shocked.
Okay, this tells me, the whole snow thing, it's definitely not true, because it's when you are literally bathing on a public fountain, it means it's hot. So yeah, it's definitely not snowy, not cold.
If you do, because the people are nice, you got some cool food, you got some amazing nature, and just an overall great time. So if you like this video, we really do appreciate your like, subscription. So click that like button, click that subscribe button, maybe share it with your friends, and let me know, what are some of the things that shocked you about visiting Canada or other places around the world? Put it in the comment section below so we can know. And if you do like travel videos like this, you click that subscribe button. We put out new travel videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Oh, also we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those things at Walter's World. You'll find us, no problem. Anyway, I'll say bye from here in Vancouver and enjoy Canada, because it really is an awesome place. Bye.
I think, yes, I love this video. I want to go to Canada so badly now. I want to know, I think specifically there are several things that I would be super excited. First, number one on my list, obviously it looks like a beautiful place, like he said, that all the nature parts of it, I think they are looking very enticing. I don't really know specifically what kind of parts the west or the east I think would be the prettiest. Obviously, you would need to do some research if you're traveling over there to see what kind of landscape appeals the most to you. I know the national parks, but I love it. I love all those mountains. I think those are they're all the woods and all the mountains with all those lakes. I think they're gorgeous. I think that would be, well, where is it? I want to go there first of all, because I don't know where they are. That would be my number one thing on the list. The second would be, the minute I'm getting off the plane, I'm going on to a Tim Hortons. I want to know exactly what it is, because I constantly hear people talking about this. Oh, it's so famous. It's the most famous Canadian chain. They have a Tim Hortons. Yeah, but what exactly do they sell? He mentioned donuts. I think everyone speaks about their coffee and just the food in general, but what kind of food? He mentioned donuts, but he also said it's sort of like, it's a Starbucks and it's a Subway, so they also sell sandwiches, but he also spoke about breakfast. So is it like an IHOPs or something? I don't know. I'm guessing they're gonna have pancakes with maple syrup as well. Probably maple glazed donuts. I don't know. I'm so curious about this. I'm also wondering if they have coffees. More coffees, as in you can get actual coffee, as in black coffee, or maybe or a latte, or just some coffee with milk or cream. or some creamer or whatever. But I'm wondering if they also do the Starbucks thing where I don't really, yes, Starbucks is good, but it's not real coffee. I do think, if you're craving coffee, you're not going specifically to Starbucks because of the quality coffee. No, you're going because you're craving Starbucks in general, but it's more of a sugary drink. And yeah, they're going to put a lot of stuff in it. So it's okay, you can crave it, but it's more coffee adjacent and not I'm craving actual coffee. Because if you're craving actual coffee, there are other places that you can go. So I'm wondering if this is the case and if a Tim Hortons is more of the Starbucks, on the Starbucks side of things, in which they're all gonna sell you, yes, it's coffee, but it's coffee as in, yes, technically it's coffee, but it has so many syrups and sugars and weird things that, while technically, I don't know if this stopped being coffee a long time ago. Or you can also ask for actual coffee, and the coffee it's good quality coffee if you have a black coffee and espresso. Probably, I don't think you can get an espresso, but you can give me an espresso shot. I don't know. But you can get good quality coffee at a Tim Hortons, or not really. It's good for other things, or if you're craving a Tim Hortons in general, a Tim Hortons coffee, drink, beverage, warm beverage. I would love to know, but it makes me so curious. I want to know it so badly because it looks really exciting. I love the food. Also, speaking about food, I don't really know. I think the only thing I know about Canadian food is the poutine. I think that's where my understanding ends, and the Tim Hortons, which I don't really understand what they're selling over there. But the poutine, I think they're famous for it, but apparently I think that's in the French province. I think it's not all over Canada, or maybe it is. I do not know, because he was mentioning the French part of Canada, where they speak French, and yes, they also speak English, but the French part where all the signs are in French and people are going to be speaking to you in French, it's only, I think, Quebec. You're not going to go to Toronto and people are going to be speaking French. No, that's not really a thing. So I'm wondering if also that goes beyond that, and it also extends to the cuisine and the dishes and the food in general. Is there a French influence all over Canada, or is just in the French province? I'm gonna guess it's a province, because Quebec, yes, sure. Is Quebec the city? Is it a province? I think it's a city, but I don't know. Is it also a province? I don't really know enough about Canada to say anything, so I don't really know. But I, again, would love to know if they're French. There's some French influence in the cuisine, or no, absolutely not. It's just in the French portion. The other places, they do their own thing. There's also the Japa dog. I don't think I've heard of that before. It looked like a hot dog, normal hot dog, but with something weird on top, which I have no idea. So I want to know as well, what on earth is a Japa dog? Please explain it to me. They look very good. I think there's also the salmon candy, which I already mentioned. Is it actual candy? I don't know. I'm very curious. I'm realizing I do not know a lot about Canadian dishes, but at the same time, I do think they're good. They sound weird, but at the same time, it's okay. They sound weird because of the little bit of a culture shock, but they also they sound really good. If I think about it, you know what? This looks very appealing. I want to have it. I want to have it now right now. Of course, the maple syrup, it's great. Yes, put maple syrup on everything. Yeah, sure. I think maple syrup goes with basically everything. I can think of very few things in which maple syrup wouldn't really work. Maybe pasta. I think that would maybe be weird, but I think other dishes, I think I can imagine. I think it goes well with meat. I think it goes well with vegetables. It goes well in desserts. I can, even in a hot dog. It sounds a little weird, yeah, but I would try it. It's very sweet and savory. Yeah, sure, why not? So yes, the food, absolutely. The other things that I think are a little funny, that made me a little sad. He said yes, all the Canadian sort of the stereotypes that you constantly you're hearing, maybe how they speak, and they say sorry a lot, and yes, they're very polite. It's good. Obviously, they're very polite, they're very friendly, they're very warm. Love it. Hopefully that's not one of the things it's been well, people apparently as a culture, they've been losing this a little bit in recent years, because he said all the Canadianisms and all the expressions that you feel are very Canadian, apparently it's a downfall. I think that's a sad thing, but I'm wondering also it's a universal thing, in which, again, as the internet and as culture, I think, goes beyond, and probably because people move out of their home countries, or they have more contact with people from other places, other nationalities. And again, and also again, the internet, I think people probably are starting to lose a little bit of that cultural signifiers, just because culture is more culture these days. Yes, of course, a French person is gonna have a different set of cultural values than, I don't know, a Japanese person. But at the same time, I think that gap, and that cultural gap, has been closing, I think, on recent, I don't know how recent, but it's been closing a little bit, just because, again, I think people in general just absorb so many things from other places that a lot of those things are kind of getting lost. So it's good on one hand. Yes, it makes us, I think, less borders in general. You probably are able to understand people from other cultures better, I would guess. But on the other hand, it's kind of sad that you're kind of losing a little bit of the thing that makes people from their home countries, in this case Canada. It sounds kind of silly, of course, because the people are starting to say a little bit less. It's not gonna make them less or more Canadian, but it's kind of it's been lost. I think that also happens with AdSense and other things. But I don't know, it's kind of, that makes me that's a little bit of a bummer. I think, just to me, maybe not for them. Obviously, they're not realizing the change is happening, because obviously they're living in real life. But when you start to analyze it, I think it's a little, that's a little bit of a bummer. But I think one of the things that has really surprised me about the video as a whole is that a lot of things are, yes, of course, it's shocking. I would say it's shocking, but not in a way that I think it's different, but just in a way of how similar they are to the US. Not obviously, not all the little things, but I think they're very patriotic. I think in the US, a lot of places can be just as patriotic. They love their flag. They love to, yes, I don't know if Canadians love to tell you, oh, Canada the greatest, or I love being Canadian. I don't know if that's the kind of patriotism they enjoy, or it's more just putting the flag or their country's colors in their clothing, or they love to wear a Canada hat or some other thing, or they're putting on the flag on their backyards. But I think in the US, that's really popular as well. That's very common. I don't think that's as popular. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think in Europe, I don't think that's popular. I'm trying to imagine, I don't know, a French person putting a French flag on their backyard. I don't think that's a thing, or a UK flag in the case of the United Kingdom or England. I think, or Germany. I don't think that happens in other European countries. I think it would be seen as a little strange. I think probably for them, it's, that's a very American thing, American continent thing, not just an Americanism from the United States, because apparently Canadians also love to do this. So, okay, is it a North American thing? Probably. I don't know, that patriotism of we love our flag and we're putting it everywhere. I think that's interesting. It's, okay. And again, it's probably not everyone. It's not probably in every single Canadian city, but in the US it's the same. Yes, you're not going to find this in every single city, but there are some places where it's very common, and some people tend to be like that. So it is, okay, they're so very similar as well. The whole the tax thing, I that surprised me, not in a good way. It's like the US, and I absolutely hate that. I hate that you're never gonna know how much you have to pay, because you can obviously, if you calculate the thing, because you have to know, how much isn't you, because it varies by state, so you have to know, the sales tax for this state is this. I don't really care. I can't. It's just, you can't calculate this, but I don't know who's doing this. I don't really care. Again, just tell me how much it is. And of course, the tipping thing, I don't really care about tipping. I think I think that's very ingrained to me. I think it's really weird, the not tipping thing. It's the opposite. I feel weird not tipping. I feel, oh my god, the waiter is gonna hate me. But again, I get it's a cultural thing, and it's very ingrained, and I think you have to be nice to the service workers. So to me, not tipping is actually very weird, and it's hard, I think, to get used to the concept of, no, you don't have to leave a tip. But the tax thing, I hate that. I think it's a given. Obviously, you're not thinking about this all the time. But if you start to analyzing it, especially I think once, or other countries in Europe, they don't really do this. They'll just tell you how much you have to pay, and that's it. It's already, taxes are calculated. Okay, thank you. There's a whole other world out there, and once you know, there's a whole other world out there, I think you'll never want to go back. I think that's the case with, at least to me. I do not like it for that reason. It's if you can do this, just again, you know how much it is. So just calculate the thing and put it on the tab. I really don't like that and it's in everything. You never know how much the sales tax actually is gonna be. And again, I get you can calculate this, but why would you? I don't really care. Is it because you're telling me anyways? So just charge me whatever. I don't really care. But yes, I don't really like that, and I hate that the Canadian people also have to suffer the same fate. I would have thought I don't know why, but I thought, oh, maybe it's just the U.S. that does this. No, it's not the U.S. only. It's a North American thing apparently. And yes, they'll it's a surprise how much you're gonna have to pay at the end because we're not including all the taxes. It's like, oh my god, I hate that. But yes, good to know. Being prepared is I hate it, but I know why we should definitely change that. But the other thing I'm going to end up, it's the Campbell's situation. He didn't explain it. I get it doesn't have to do anything with the video, but what's up with the Campbell's giant soup? I would love to know what's up with that and where exactly is that giant statue sculpture. It wasn't a statue, it was a sculpture. But also the pigeons, which are kind of, it's a very interesting sculpture. I would love to visit it. I love Campbell's soup, but yeah, I want to know the history behind this and where exactly is it located because it's kind of like it's a weird choice for a sculpture and for a piece of art. That's the only thing I'll say. But I would visit just because it looks very interesting. It looks very funny. So yes, of course, I will want to take a picture with it, of course. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.